My tip is to set yourself up for success in your practice. Whether you're new to immigration law or new to law generally, it helps to approach your practice with intention and to start by identifying the resources available to you so that you can easily access them. As a starting point, I suggest familiarizing yourself with the two primary sources of immigration law. First, the relevant statute, which is called the Immigration and Nationality Act, can be cited to under the INA or under Title VIII of the U.S. Code. And second, the relevant federal agencies' regulations. These detail how the law will be applied and enforced by a particular federal agency. They are binding, just like statutes and case law, and the regulations can be found in Title VIII of the Code of Federal Regulations. Beyond statutes and regulations, there are additional sources of guidance from agencies that adjudicate immigration applications. These are generally available on the specific agency's website. Here are the agencies to be aware of when practicing immigration law for unaccompanied children. The Office of Refugee Resettlement, or ORR, publishes their policies in the Unaccompanied Children Program Policy Guide. USCIS publishes their policy through both the policy manual, which has helpful guidance on adjudications and other policies, and also USCIS policy memorandum, which are generally also available on their website. The Executive Office for Immigration Review, EOIR, their policy manual is one huge document with multiple parts, all of which are important to be aware of. They include the Immigration Court Practice Manual, the BIA Practice Manual, operating policies and procedures memoranda, and finally, directors memoranda and policy memoranda. Both ICE and CBP issue policy guidance. And finally, the Department of State publishes their policies through the Foreign Affairs Manual. The final source of immigration law is case law. So this is generally federal case law, all the way up to the Supreme Court or the Court of Appeals in the circuit in which you practice. And there have also been lawsuits filed against agencies over new policies in district courts. Additionally, the Board of Immigration Appeals, or the BIA, issues both precedent and non-precedent decisions. So I just touched on a lot of sources of immigration law and policy. If you're thinking it might be hard to keep track of all of these, I strongly agree with you. And this leads me to my next point, which is to bookmark helpful links for easy access. CILA recently updated our guide titled Helpful Resources in Representing Unaccompanied Children. This can be found on our website, CILacademy.org, under the drop-down menu for resources in the online library. This resource has links to all of the sources of immigration law I just mentioned, and it's a great starting point for any kind of research that you'll be doing. Additionally, it contains resources for individual cases. My two favorite ones are the EOIR automated case information, where you can look up the immigration court status for any individual as long as you have their A number, and the USCIS online case status, which as long as you have the receipt number for any application that was submitted to USCIS, you can look up the status of that application. Next, I suggest finding new ways to continue learning. The field of immigration law changes constantly and quickly, and it's important to incorporate continuous learning as part of your practice. Accessed in many different ways, including live webinars, recorded webinars, both of which are often available online through other organizations that provide trainings and technical assistance, practice advisories, written guidance. There's templates of motions, redacted samples of documents. Our website, the CILA website, has a lot of resources as well. If you visit the website and explore a library, you may be able to find some helpful support on any particular subject. And if you have no idea where to start on a particular issue, don't be afraid to Google it. When I first started working on unaccompanied children's cases, I can't tell you how many times I had to Google notice to appear or immigration court pleadings just to really start to grasp these concepts. Finally, don't be afraid to reach out for help. Our community of immigration attorneys nationwide is small and tight-knit in the best way. You can join local or national listservs, Facebook groups for immigration attorneys, And these are different ways to get in touch with local practitioners. If you're at a legal service provider, it can be really helpful to talk through case issues with a colleague and identify resources that way. And if you're a pro bono attorney working with a pro bono coordinator at the referring nonprofit, reach out to them. They should be able to provide you with support on your case as well. And finally, CILA. One of our many services is to provide technical assistance on specific cases. You can submit those requests on our website, again, cilacademy.org. Or email us directly at CILA@abacila.org. We are always happy to help. And if there's something that is outside of our wheelhouse, we are happy to help you find resources to work on a particular issue. I hope that gives a glimpse of all of the resources available to you. And with that, I wish you all the success in your practice.